100% they were. That whole bullshit about the greatest generation, and then everybody just they're the greatest. What? Because Tom Brokaw said it. One guy says that, and then that becomes the greatest generation. If you look at where race relations were, the greatest generation. He's talking about world.
My goat. I love him. One day he will be Billy Boy. How are ya? One day he's gonna be on a fucking broadcast, dude. Got the white boy saying inshallah, dude.
World War II, simultaneously, like segregation was going on, brutal segregation.
Top of the charts.
Yeah. Top of the charts segregation, right? And it's just like, yeah, and he's sitting there. It's a very compartmentalized white way of looking at a certain moment in history and just being like, these guys were the great.
Everyone always says Bill Burr would hate you. Don't fuck it up like Ethan. I don't think I would. I think we would fucking vibe. I legitimately believe that we would vibe super hard. You're saying cope, but like I do legitimately think, like, why wouldn't we get along? We agree on so much.
Great. Well, maybe with the information they had or whatever, but there was a lot of things that were going on back then that weren't great. A lot of things that are coming back. Like you just saw in Arkansas, they made it okay for a 13-year-old to go work in a factory. Yeah. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to fire their parents that are full-time with benefits, and then you got to compete with your own kid. They have so exhausted sweatshop labor.
Every time he starts talking is literally a HasanAbi spit sesh, okay? Every time he starts talking about labor rights, every time he starts talking about politics is basically fucking literally a one-to-one verbatim same ass fucking take, same ass fucking opinion. This is why I think like we would get along. He's a lurker in the chat. No, I think he's unfortunately like a Jimmy Dore head or something, but it's fine. I don't give a shit. He can be a Jimmy Dore head. Who gives a fuck? As long as he's got the good takes and not like Jimmy Dore's bad takes. You know what I mean? Do you think he'd enjoy your how are you impression? Probably. I grew up listening to his fucking silly ass podcast that he still does to this day where he just is alone and spitting. The Monday Morning Podcast. Top tier podcast. How does he do it? I don't even know. I don't even understand. You both mauled exactly the same? Yeah, because he's a very influential person in my life, dude. That's why. A lot of you guys watch me and are influenced by the things I say, by the things I believe. I am influenced by his style for sure because I love him. I think he's fucking hilarious. He's hilarious. He's very empathetic. He's just the GOAT.
Around the world.
He is as if Lenin was from Massachusetts. That's so funny.
And we've all ignored it here because it didn't affect us, and now they're gonna bring it back here. But it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
Look up how much child labor there was in the early 1900s.
I remember reading horrible stories about debtor's prison, whole families being in there, no way of getting out, and then also like 8-year-olds like doing in the 1800s during the
He's not a Jimmy Dore stan. He's just friends with Jimmy Dore because of comedy for like 15 years. He's based because of his wife. Yeah, his wife is, I think, his friendship with Patrice O'Neal, and I think his wife is like genuinely played a major role in his understanding of the world. He's great.
I love what they call like the robber baron era.
Lovely Nia, everybody.
Like that ever ended.
Yeah.
I'll tell you nothing that's really fucking annoying the shit out of me right now is that fucking expression tech bro. So nerds are like women. They never get blamed for anything. So tech bro makes it frat boy adjacent. Like there's some fucking bro with his hat backwards. It's like frat guys, there was an individual like hurting of human beings. What these fucking nerds do and what they have created and how little they've devalued, like, so now we're all working and it's like with each, like the pool just keeps shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. And these tech bros,
Anyway, I love him specifically because like, you know how yesterday we were talking with David Maklovich of Chromeo, and he has a very specific style and he has a very like specific way of speaking, and he was talking about how he wants to convince people who are still like liberal Zionists to like see the light on Israel, things of that nature. David can speak to an audience that will not be receptive to me, even though we have very similar shared values. And I see the exact same thing with Bill Burr. Bill Burr can speak to the broadest audience, an audience that will never be receptive to me, an audience that will despise everything that I stand for, even though the reasons for why they despise it literally has the exact same opinions on, and simultaneously, he is literally wealthier than I am. But he gets to say these things in a beautiful way a lot of people will be receptive to, and I respect that. because the aesthetics are very different. He comes across like a fucking everyman, you know, like a common guy. If I had the opportunity to talk to him, I would talk about his politics. Like I would talk about the shit that pisses him off. Yeah, he's way richer than you, but didn't call himself a socialist, so nobody says his money's hypocritical. Exactly. And I hope he never does. And I don't think he will.